and welcome to The Advice Show. Today I'm joined by David Yael-Raff, who's a floral artist. He's here to chat about his business, Frog Floral Artistry, and give advice on how he got started. If you've got any questions for us today, you can get in touch with the show by tweeting us at Manchester Advice Show using the hashtag #MCRAdvice, or text advice and your message to 07548 200 007. Thank you so much for joining us today, David, and thank you for bringing this amazing flowers.
My pleasure.
So tell me how exactly you got started in the floral industry then?
Years ago I used to work as a waiter in a restaurant, and they used to change the flowers weekly, so I used to bring the flowers back home, and some days some friend came over for a dinner party and they were like, "Oh, this is lovely, so where did you get them from?" And I've just done them. So they were like, "You should be a florist." So I was like, "Oh, maybe, yeah, I should try." So went to Wyndhamshire College and did an MVQ floristry and started from there.
Right, so you didn't have the desire to do it when you were younger then? It
No.
just came about because of your job, really?
Yeah, exactly. I've always been creative, so I knew I wanted to do something creative, but I didn't know really what it was. And I think the flowers really brought me this creativity and made me to express myself. So I carried on like that and worked for this international florist. So I worked with her in London and just really discovered myself, and since that, never looked back since.
So what would you say you do then? You have your own business then. Tell us a little bit about
Yeah, I
your
have
business.
indeed. Yeah, I worked with different florists for a fair bit and opened my own business about 8 years ago. So first of all, I had a warehouse near at the back of Salford Quays and used to do flowers for restaurants, shops, and from there I opened my shop about 5 years ago in the Northern Quarter.
Right.
And got really, really busy. So I was getting a bit stuck, in the shop. So I open now by appointment and focus on weddings and events, do flowers for still shops and restaurants, and we do a lot of collaboration with artists as well. So trying to mix the fashion and design and flowers. And now as well, we've got like a flower school, so do little workshop for people and try to make them enjoy flowers and play with them.
So with a flower shop, when I hear the words flower shop, I'd think of a place where people go in and can get a bouquet of flowers, or they can order flowers and pick what they want. So yours is a bit different to that.
Yeah, it's
then?
a bit different. We've still got people coming, every day buying some flowers. So we still got flowers and make bouquet for them. But our main focus is about services. So like that, we're a bit more free. We can close the door, go and see clients instead of being stuck there. So, but we still do flowers, for people if they just want to come and spend flowers for their mother or their lovers or anybody they would like. Yeah.
Do you get lots of different requests then? So you say you work with weddings and you work for restaurants.
Yeah, wedding can be quite stressful. Some florists hates it doing weddings because you can't mess it up. It's a big day, but it's fantastic. It's the best thing ever. Going the morning and see the bride and bring the flowers and make everybody happy for their special day. So yeah, I love that.
How many staff do you have working for you now?
Work with freelance florists. So we've got about between 2 to 5 florists. It depends how busy we are. And we've got as well Susie, our main florist, and she will teach for our flower school for our workshops. Yeah.
So you said you went to college to study floristry.
Indeed, yeah.
What does that actually entail for somebody that wouldn't even know a course like this existed?
I know, but you need to learn all the name of flowers in Latin language, and as well common names about wiring flowers, how the flowers can last. You have to condition them. When you get flowers from the flower market, some flowers haven't been in water for maybe like a couple of days, so you need to remove all the leaves, look after them, put them in fresh water. So it's kind of this kind of knowledge you need to know before, Sometimes, people think at college it could be a bit kind of boring and kind of really traditional, but you need to know these rules before breaking them and make your own from there.
Did you sit an exam then while you were there?
Yeah, if you examine, you have to know, they give you pictures of the flowers and you have to write both names. So yeah, it's kind of a little exams, yeah. And after that, you can carry on different levels, I did just one level and started working for this florist straight away. I think most of you will learn, is working in a floral environment in a shop, if you know what I mean.
So you're French, as you can tell by your accent.
Just a bit, yeah.
So you've come to England, you've been here 18 years.
18 years indeed, yeah. First of all, I moved when I was about 18 years old. So came to London, the big smoke, tried to improve myself in English. And after about 8 months in London, I had the opportunity to move to Manchester. So I was thinking, I'm going to try Manchester, stay a year time and carry on traveling. And 18 years later, still here. I just fell in love with Manchester, I consider myself as a French monk, I think.
What do you like about Manchester?
I think most of it is the people. I love the the energy and creativity that Manchester's got, and I think it's really friendly as well. I think more you go up north in England, it's really friendly. I just feel at home. So and I'm really pleased, that Manchester and Mancunian accepted me, and that's home for me now as
so
well.
you plan to stay here for the future then? Is this your home forever?
Definitely, yeah.
Excellent. So with the shop then, I imagine at the start it was quite hard to get people to come in and know about you.
Yeah,
how hard was that?
Yeah, very hard, especially when I opened my business. Within 2 or 3 weeks, we were getting into the recession. So obviously flowers is kind of luxury, so I was really scared. And nowadays people go to supermarket or petrol station, and florist is quite hard for them, but it hasn't been easy. But I think if you do hard work and passion always pay off. So, and also more and more people got married, so we started doing more and more weddings. So it's how the business organically developed and still developing organically, if you know what I mean.
So tell me a bit about the things that you make, because you don't just do standard bouquets, do
No,
you?
I don't. I try. I've always been passionate by fashion and design and architecture and art. So I'm trying to merge everything together. So I love collaborating with artists. I love bringing the best of people and try to do something different. So I do organize as well as a creative director and organize photo shoot for fashion or do art installation for a few places in Manchester and north of England. That is what I get excited about. See, when you try to imagine something in your head and you just create it and people just get it, it's a great feeling.
We actually have some pictures of your work which we're going to show to the audience, and if you just briefly describe what they are. So the first one is this amazing piece. What is that? Yeah,
this was for about 3 years ago. We did this collaboration with different artists and some friends, and it was in the Gallery of Costume of Manchester. So we just created this hat or helmet out of 100 roses. So it was very, very heavy. Bless the model. She was really brave and strong neck. But I love the colors of it, the contrast, and I think it's just great pictures.
So how have you got them roses moulded around that? Is there something underneath keeping that
trick
together?
of the trade. Yeah, it looks quite barbarian, but we just got this kind of plastic dish with wire and this fresh oasis foam, which will keep the flowers fresh. The time of the photo shoot, especially with the spotlight and everything, like a bit like here. It's going to be quite hot.
Okay, so the next picture now, what have we got? Oh, here we've got, it's almost similar, is it a helmet again?
Yeah, it's the same, yeah. We use as well above my studio shop, I've got this bridal shop called Jean Jackson Couture, and we use some of their dresses. So we did for this photo shoot the same. It was kind of really romantic and finding something a bit quirky. So this is the same model, yeah, showing this with headdresses as well, yeah.
And lastly, which is my favourite picture, we have the lady with this amazing thing. And what's that?
It's real fern. It's asparagus fern, which has been sprayed in platinum spray. So, and we created these headdresses on it with this gorgeous dress, and you can see the contrast against the red hair. I think it's just beautiful.
Amazing. So the artists come to you and say, I have an idea, or do you go to them?
It could be two different concepts, or somebody come to me and say, oh, I've got this project, would like to come on board, or somebody just have a chat, in a bar and say, oh, I think we should work together. I'm sure we could do something, and we should start talking about it and then do a mood board and get some flowers and try to get everybody together. It's all about the team. The team needs to be complete, from the makeup artist to the lighting to the flowers. Everything have to come up together and try to create something magical.
So how long do these creations that we've just seen take to make them?
Some of them can take quite a very long time. Some of them is just sometimes by luck and putting just flowers together and thinking, oh, that looks quite nice. So it just depends, a bit of luck and a lot of thought as well beforehand as well, to try to not lose too much time and
So what kind of person are you then? Are you a perfectionist? Because I know if I was making something like that, I'd pick the flower out and swap it and keep trying until it looked the best.
Yeah,
or do you just throw it together?
You have to be a perfectionist, especially for this kind of picture, we kind of glossy picture you will see in magazine. But sometimes you have to put that aside, because I have to run a business, so I have to make money. So you have to try to conceal a bit both of them, you perfectionist and time and everything together. So Yeah, I'm a perfectionist, but sometimes you have to let it go, otherwise.
Yes,
you can't do
definitely.
anything.
Otherwise, you'll be there all day.
Exactly, exactly.
So, what's your favourite thing to make then? Is it creations like this,
Yeah.
or is it just standard flower bouquets, or for weddings?
I think it's a bit of both, to be honest. Yeah, that's my passion, all about pictures and fashion. I love creating that. It's just one-off, and it's a bit kind of like an art installation. But on the other hand, I love weddings, like I was saying earlier on. It's a great feeling when you create all those flowers for people, and that just creates a beautiful background for the weddings, and they just make them really happy. Sometimes brides cry. I don't like making them cry, but yeah, it's a bit, I would say, a bit of both, which I like.
So you said you do classes as well, which is really interesting, really, because a lot of people may not know that you can actually go to classes to make these pieces.
Yeah, exactly. We thought they were kind of a niche in the market, and especially in Manchester, in the northern quarter where we are. And it's more kind of like workshop. They're really intimate classes, up to 8 people, really relaxed, and people come and have scones and prosecco and tea and coffees. And we just try to make them create, see flowers a different way, how they could do it at home, because sometimes floristry can be quite like we're thinking about old church and kind of quite old things to do. So we're just trying to create and jazz it up a bit and make them available for people. So they're really intimate. People sometimes group for hand party or birthday and spend few hours with us, and they go on with their own creations, so they're really pleased, really happy. So yeah.
So can they make anything, or do you
usually
have set classes?
Yeah, we got workshops, so from like making like table centers, like I brought you a little sample today, or to make traditional bouquet, or to make headdresses, for festivals. So usually teenagers and ladies, really like that for the summer. It's quite fun. It's just a kind of fun 2 or 3 hours together, and playing with flowers and get your hands dirty and make something out of it.
So is that something you do every night, or is it like
we do?
once a week?
Yeah, we've got about 6 or 8 classes per month. So we've got as well all the new workshop for Christmas, so people will be able to make Christmas wreaths and festive, luxurious festive table centers, and yeah.
Nice. So do you like teaching people then?
Yeah, I do. I'll not teach every time now because I'm quite busy with the other part of the business. So I've got Susie, my main teacher. She loves it. She's passionate about it, and I think she communicates with people very well. So yeah, people seems to really like her, and I really like her anyway.
All right, so that's all we've got time for in part 1, but don't go anywhere because we've still got plenty more to discuss. And after the break, we've got a demonstration from David right here in the studio. See you in 3. Brilliant, that went